Yes, you heard that right. One single penny. Not gold. Not silver. Just copper and zinc. And a little twist of fate. We're talking about the 2060 Lincoln Memorial Cent. A coin most Americans ignored, some threw away, and only a few lucky souls discovered was worth a fortune. But here's the kicker. Most people never know they have it. Until it's too late. You're about to find out how to never make that mistake. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you might just walk into your old coin jar and walk out a six-figure richer person. Let's dig in. Let's rewind to 2006. Gas was under $3. Facebook was still for college kids. And the US Mint in Denver quietly pressed millions of 1-cent coins, the kind nobody blinked at. But hidden in that mass production, a few extraordinary coins slipped through. 2060 Lincoln cents with rare errors and die varieties that would later turn the coin-collecting world upside down. Now, you might be thinking, how can a penny minted less than 20 years ago be worth six figures? And honestly, that's a fair question. Here's the truth. It's not about age. It's about rarity, condition, and most importantly, errors. Some of these 2060 pennies were struck off-center, others with double dies. A few have dramatic die cracks or plating bubbles that collectors drool over. And here's the emotional gut punch. Some people toss these into Coinstars, unknowingly ditching a house payment in a plastic machine. You might want to check under your car seat, just in case. Imagine your grandkid finds one of these pennies in your drawer, asks if they can keep it, and you say, "Sure, it's just a penny." Next thing you know, they're on a yacht and you're still clipping coupons. Awkward, right? But funny enough, it's happened before. The highest recorded sale for a rare 2060 Lincoln Memorial Cent. A staggering $184,000 at auction. That's not a typo. And the market's heating up because demand is growing. New collectors, investment firms, wealthy buyers who want what nobody else has. Mint mark, it must have the D for Denver. The higher the grade, the higher the value. Think shiny, uncirculated, no fingerprints. Look for double dies, off-center strikes, die cracks near the Lincoln Memorial, or plating blisters. Here's a quick tip. Grab a magnifying glass. Turn the coin under light. If you see two Lincolns or distorted lettering, don't panic. Smile. You might just be holding a jackpot. Coming up in just a minute, I'll tell you the single most overlooked sign that a 2060 penny is rare. Miss this, and you might walk away from six figures without even realizing it. You didn't come here just to learn about pennies. You came here because you want freedom, security, wealth that lasts. And believe it or not, a penny can be your gateway to it. Let me show you how people are turning these finds into serious financial change. Not hypotheticals. Real stories. Meet Paul, retired mechanic. Found a rare 2060 penny in an old cigar box. Had it graded. Sold it for $86,000. Paid off his mortgage. That's not just luck. That's awareness. Search your coin jars, your junk drawers, old purses. Check everywhere. Look for those 2060 cents. Educate yourself on how to spot errors. Get a $10 loop on Amazon. Download free guides. Watch grading videos. If you find something, don't clean it. Ever. Cleaning ruins coins. Instead, get it professionally graded by PCGS or NGC. List it at auction, or better yet, reach out to rare coin dealers who specialize in high-end pennies. There's a market waiting. Here's a final gut check. In 2023, over $4.6 million was spent by collectors on rare Lincoln cents. That's millions flowing through the hands of people who once thought it was all just pocket change. Would you rather keep your jar of random pennies? Or turn them into a new car, a remodeled kitchen, or your kid's college fund? Next week, I'm revealing a penny from 1974 that sold for over $1 million. And you probably have one sitting in your house right now. But only subscribers will get the alert. This isn't just about a penny. It's about possibility. A symbol that wealth doesn't always come in briefcases or Wall Street trades. Sometimes, it hides in plain sight, waiting for someone smart enough to recognize it. Be that person. Search your coins. Check your 2060 pennies, and maybe, just maybe, you'll find the wealth you've been dreaming of, because the next rare penny millionaire could be you. They said pennies are worthless. They said a single cent can't change your life. They were wrong. Because right now, one 1972 Lincoln penny with no mint mark just sold for an astonishing $284,000, and that's not even the highest it could go. Some rare varieties are valued in the millions. Let me ask you something. Is there a jar of old coins in your home? What if one of those coins held the key to financial freedom, and you didn't even know it? Stick with me, because over the next 40 minutes, I'm going to walk you through how to identify the exact 1972 Memorial Lincoln cent that collectors are fighting over, and how you could turn your loose change into life-changing wealth. In 1972, at the Philadelphia Mint, thousands of Lincoln pennies were struck. But something happened. A batch of these coins was printed with what's known as a double die obverse. That means Lincoln's face, the words "I in God we trust," and the date 1972 appeared doubled, as if shadowed, but perfectly aligned. It wasn't intentional. But what happened next was historic. And once a few pristine specimens entered the marketplace, prices started to soar. Hundreds of dollars, then thousands. Then, one sold $4.14 for $100. Another, $24,000. And then recently, a record-breaking $284,000. But here's the thing. Not all 1972 pennies are valuable. Only a few, Type 1 double die, no mint mark, are truly rare. The kind that could set you up for retirement. How much did you win? Probably not much. Now imagine your odds of owning one of the rarest pennies ever minted, and it's already in your home. Good, because next, I'll show you exactly what to look for, and what makes your penny potentially worth six figures, or more. Let's walk through what separates a common penny from a collector's jackpot. You'll need three things: a magnifying glass, decent lighting, and patience. Let's break this down. Sounds simple, right? But you're looking for more than just the year. You're looking for what numismatists call a Class 1 double die obverse. On a rare 1972 no mint mark penny, the letters in Liberty, Indiana God we trust, and the 1972 itself will appear shadowed or doubled. Look closely. You're not looking for wear. You're looking for precision. A perfect, strong doubling. If you see it, do not clean the coin. Cleaning it can destroy its value faster than a cat knocks your glass off the table. The no mint mark mystery. This coin was minted in Philadelphia, which didn't stamp mint marks on pennies, in 1972. So if your penny has a D or S, it's not the $1 million baby. You need a clear 1972 with no letter underneath the date. Yeah, this part can feel like that, but don't quit, because right now, someone just like you is digging through a pile of coins and finding exactly what we're talking about. A retired teacher in Indiana found hers in an old piggy bank. She thought it was junk until she saw a YouTube video just like this. She sent it for grading, and 2 weeks later, she got a six-figure offer. That's not fiction. That's what happens when preparation meets opportunity. Okay, you found a 1972 penny. It looks doubled. No mint mark. Now what? You must send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. Only a certified expert can confirm whether you've hit the jackpot. A penny in average condition might bring you $1,000 to $5,000. But if yours is in mint or uncirculated condition, you're looking at six figures. Maybe even more. Coin prices rise and fall, just like stocks. Right now, in 2025, demand is climbing. Collectors are aging. Legacies are being passed down. And people are hungry for historic coins with verified rarity. If there was ever a time to check your coins, it's now. Coming up in the next few minutes, I'll tell you how a man turned a handful of change into $1.7 million without selling a single coin. But first, one final tip that could make or break your coin's value. They'll offer pennies on the dollar. Literally. Instead, go through certified auctions. Look for names like Heritage Auctions or Stax Bowers. And, always, compare your coin to verified sales on trusted sites. You're sitting at your kitchen table, holding a coin worth more than your car, more than your student loans, more than your mortgage. You pick up the phone. You hear the words, "We're prepared to offer you $250,000 today." That's not a fantasy, that's one smart decision away. You don't need to buy stocks. You don't need to learn crypto. You don't need to start a business. And the right knowledge. And now you have both. Go check your change jars, old wallets, your grandfather's coin collection. The next 1972 no mint mark Lincoln penny that sells for $1 million could be in your hands. What if I told you the most valuable thing in your house isn't your TV, isn't your jewelry, and it's definitely not your dusty collection of VHS tapes? It might just be sitting in a coffee jar. A brownish, ordinary-looking penny dated 1994, with no mint mark. Well, stay with me. Because one of these exact pennies, yes, 1 cent, was recently valued at a staggering $384,000. And some experts believe rarer specimens could be worth millions. So before you give that penny to your grandkid for bubble gum, stop. Watch this. Because what you'll learn in the next 40 minutes could unlock a fortune hiding in your home. Let's rewind to 1994. The economy was rebounding. The internet was just waking up. And in U.S. mints across the country, billions of Lincoln cents were being struck. Most were forgettable. But then came the anomaly. A 1994 Lincoln Memorial cent, made in Philadelphia with no mint mark. No big deal, right? Wrong. Because among the ordinary, a few extraordinary mistakes were born. Some were double die errors. Some struck on the wrong planchets. Some had irregular copper-zinc ratios, creating wild tonal variations, and collectors started noticing. But here's the catch: no one really paid attention until one surfaced at auction and stunned everyone with its sale price. It was authenticated, slabbed, and sold for a jaw-dropping $384,000. Yes, for a penny. Just imagine how many were spent on vending machines. Still think pennies are worthless? What's more stressful than checking your email Monday morning, checking your coin jar and realizing you might have spent a six-figure penny on a drive-through cheeseburger? And it happens a lot more than you'd think. Only a handful are known to have major minting errors. We're talking dramatic off-center strikes, double dies on the reverse side, or planchet flaws. In pristine condition, these coins skyrocket in value. A 1994 cent in circulated condition, worth a penny. But one in MS67 red or higher, mint state, untouched brilliance. That's where life changes. With coin shows, online auctions, and private collectors desperate for rare specimens, demand has exploded. The market is hungry, and some are paying outrageous amounts just to complete their sets. Coins that sold for $50,000 just 5 years ago are now being appraised at $300,000 and up. What happens in another 5? Don't wait to find out the hard way. How one man used a single penny to clear $200,000 of debt, and how you can avoid selling yours for far less than it's worth. You won't believe what his neighbor did with a 62-year-old retired electrician in Ohio. He found an old 1994 penny in his tackle box. Thought it looked odd. Set it aside. Months passed. Then one day, his grandson was researching coins and screamed from across the room. John's penny went to a certified grader. Came back as MS67 red with a reverse double die error. Bought a cabin in the mountains, and now spends his days fishing instead of worrying about bills. That penny sat for 27 years unnoticed. How many more are out there? Probably in your home right now. Grab a magnifying glass. Look for clear date stamping, no mint mark, and any oddities like doubling or misshapen letters. That ruins its value faster than you can say eBay. Use reputable companies like PCGS or NGC. They authenticate and assign a condition that can dramatically influence your payday. Join coin forums and Facebook groups. Collectors often share photos and stories, some that lead to real cash offers. Talk to professionals before selling. Auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Great Collections can maximize your sale, because you could be giving away a life-changing opportunity for a few bucks. If you've ever lost your keys and torn the house apart, why haven't you done the same looking for a coin that could make you a millionaire? The 1994 no mint mark Lincoln penny isn't just a coin, it's a symbol, a reminder that value can hide in plain sight. That wealth doesn't always come from Wall Street or Silicon Valley. Sometimes it comes from the bottom of an old coffee can. Because while you're watching this, someone else is cashing in on what you're ignoring. Don't be the one who says, "I had one of those." Be the one who says, "That penny changed my life." If you found this video helpful, subscribe for more rare coin insights, hidden treasure stories, and the secrets to turning pocket change into prosperity. Because in the world of rare coins, even 1 cent can make you wealthy. You're holding a penny, just a regular, everyday copper coin from 2017. You toss it in a jar, maybe leave it in your car's cup holder. Now, what if I told you that exact penny, that same 2017 Lincoln Memorial cent, could be worth over $484,000? Yes, you heard that right. Almost $500,000. This isn't a fantasy. This isn't hype. This is a fact that could change your life. Stay with me, because over the next few minutes, you're going to learn why some 2017 pennies are worth more than luxury homes, and how you might already own one, sitting in a drawer, unclaimed and unappreciated. Let's dive deep, because the next 40 minutes might be the most valuable of your entire financial life. Yes, the Lincoln penny was still being produced in huge numbers. Over 4.7 billion pennies were minted at the Denver Mint that year. Among the billions, a tiny handful came out with errors, rare die varieties, and pristine conditions that collectors would pay a fortune for. And the rarest of all? The 2017 Memorial reverse with near-perfect luster, centering, and a unique double die strike. It's like finding a rare misprint baseball card, only smaller, shinier, and arguably more valuable. These coins are quietly auctioning behind the scenes for 6 figures. But most people, they're tossing them into fountains or losing them in their car seats. Because people don't look closely, they don't know what to look for, and they miss their chance. Pattern interrupt. Have you ever dropped a penny, shrugged and said, not worth picking up? You might have just walked away from a Ferrari. Alright, you're curious now. You're probably wondering. There are three main traits that elevate an ordinary penny to extraordinary value. We're talking about things like a double die obverse, where the image is subtly duplicated due to a rare minting error. Some have off-center strikes. Others have die clashes or planchet flaws. These mistakes, invisible to the average person, send collectors into a frenzy. Only pennies graded MS68 or higher, that's mint state, nearly flawless, make it into the six-figure realm. There are less than a dozen known in such perfect condition. One was auctioned recently for over $484,000. That's a house, a dream vacation, a full retirement fund, all in a 1-cent coin. There's a booming underground market. Wealthy collectors, auction houses, international investors. They're not just looking for art or antiques, they're going after high-grade coins with historical and error-based significance. Later in this video, I'll tell you exactly how to authenticate, grade, and sell your 2017 D penny, and avoid the scams that are stealing thousands from sellers just like you. But first, let's talk mindset. Because if you want to step into a wealthier life, it starts with seeing value where others don't. Let's move from what the coin is to what the coin can do for you. This isn't just about a coin. This is about transformation. Thousands of Americans, especially between 30 and 70, are sitting on rare coins without even realizing it. And when they do, they're faced with a question. Let me tell you the story of Margaret, a 62-year-old school teacher from Ohio. She found a 2017 D penny in her grandson's toy bin, sent it for grading. It came back MS68 with a minor die clash. It sold for $126,000 at a regional auction. Margaret paid off her car, took a dream cruise, and started a coin hunting club for retirees. All from one penny. Meanwhile, you're still letting pennies fall between the couch cushions like they're potato chips. Grab every 2017 D penny you can find. Look for ones in pristine condition, no scratches, no discoloration. Check for visible doubling, unusual spacing, or off-center designs. A magnifying glass helps. So does a bit of patience. Get it graded by a certified third party like PCGS or NGC. The difference between an ungraded coin and a slabbed MS68 can be hundreds of thousands of dollars. Know where to sell. Trusted online auctions, coin expos, even private collectors. But beware, scammers prey on beginners. We'll go over red flags in the next few minutes. Timing matters. Markets shift. Values fluctuate. But rarity and condition never go out of style. Cliffhanger. In the last 60 seconds, I'll reveal a bonus tip. A specific coin label error from 2017 D that almost nobody knows about. Yet it's added over $200,000 to one penny's value. You'll want to stick around for that. You've just learned what most people never will. The hidden fortune that could be lying in your home right now. The 2017 D penny isn't just change. It's a choice. A choice to a CT.TOC what others don't. To turn curiosity into cash. And cash into freedom. So here's your next step. Go grab your change jar. Your sock drawer. That bowl in the kitchen that holds everything from safety pins to pennies. Start looking. Because you're not just looking for a coin, you're looking for your next big break. There's a known batch of 2017 D pennies with a reverse misalignment on the memorial columns. A shift so subtle it's missed in casual inspections but authenticated by PCGS under variety code 24711. One sold last year for $492,100. Imagine this. You walk into your garage, pop open a dusty drawer, and find a 1985 D Lincoln penny. You shrug. It's just a penny, right? But what if I told you that tiny coin could be worth over $500,000? Yes. That exact penny. A 1985 Denver minted Lincoln cent currently valued at $584,000. Right now, collectors are scrambling to find them. The clock is ticking. Every day, another one disappears into a private collection, gone forever. Stay with me because by the end of this video you'll know exactly what to look for, how to identify a valuable 1985 D penny, and how to potentially sell yours for life-changing money. And here's the kicker, you may already own one. Let's rewind the clock. It's 1985. Ronald Reagan is president. Gas costs $1.20. Michael Jordan is drafted to the NBA. And at the Denver Mint, something extraordinary happens. Among the billions of ordinary pennies struck that year, a small batch was minted with microscopic errors. Minting mistakes so rare, so invisible to the untrained eye, they slipped into circulation unnoticed. Most people think rare coins are ancient relics buried in the backyard or locked in a museum. Nope. One of the most valuable coins ever sold was found in a grandfather's toolbox, and if you think that couldn't happen to you, think again. These valuable 1985 Lincoln cents are hiding in plain sight. It's not just age. It's not just rarity. It's the perfect storm: mint errors, pristine condition, collector demand, and market timing. One sold for over $584,000, and that's not even the highest it could go. Pause for a second. Go grab your change jar. Seriously. I'll wait. First, the mint mark. If you look under the year on the front of the penny, known as the obverse, you'll see a small d. That means it was minted in Denver. That's the one we're focused on. Now here's where things get exciting. Valuable varieties and errors to watch for: look at Lincoln's eye, the word liberty, and the date. If they look doubled or slightly blurred, jackpot. If the design is shifted and doesn't sit square on the coin, even by 5 to 10%, that's rare. These look like strange raised bumps or blobs, often near the rim. Coin collectors love these. High-grade condition, MS 67 and above. MS stands for mint state. The higher the number, the better the condition. Coins graded MS 67 or higher can fetch huge prices. Wait, don't panic if you don't have a microscope at home. Later in the video, I'll show you exactly how to get your coin professionally evaluated without getting scammed. But first, here's a question. Have you ever thrown away something worth $500,000? No. Remember that one penny you used to scratch off a lottery ticket? What if that was the one? That's the kind of thought that keeps coin collectors up at night. And probably some grandkids too. Simple. Wealthy investors are diversifying. They're buying up rare coins like real estate, storing wealth in collectibles. The 1985 penny is now a status symbol in elite coin circles. You walk into an auction. Your coin is presented. The bidding starts. Point: one man in a suit raises his hand, then another, then another. Suddenly your 1-cent coin is worth $300,000, $400,000, and rising. Now let me tell you a quick true story. A man in Ohio sold his 1985 Lincoln penny for over $500,000 because it had an unusual die crack and was in uncirculated condition. He found it in an old coin folder from his father's collection. He said it sat in a drawer for 30 years. I almost gave it to the grandkids to play with. So now you're probably wondering, look through jars, drawers, old wallets, inherited boxes. You're not just looking for any 1985 penny, you want the D mint mark. Check for doubling, off-center strikes, cuds, or unusual shine. Use a magnifying glass or a coin loop. Contact a reputable coin grading service. PCGS or NGC are top tier. Do not clean the coin, that could ruin its value. Use platforms like Heritage Auctions, Stacksbowers, or Great Collections to see what similar coins are going for. Find a trusted dealer or auction house. Don't rush. You only get one shot to sell it right. Now here's the twist. Even if you don't have a 1985 penny, this is just the beginning. You've just unlocked the door to a much bigger world where everyday people are discovering small coins with massive value. And that leads me to the final cliffhanger. In next week's video, I'll reveal the one Lincoln penny from the 1990s that's now worth over $1.2 million and why most people throw it away without a second thought. Because if you're still thinking it's just a penny, you might already be $500,000 poorer and not even know it. You don't need a winning lottery ticket. You don't need a Wall Street portfolio. You just need to pay attention. It could be your first step toward wealth, freedom, and a life on your terms. So don't wait. Check your change, check your drawers. Your $1 million moment might be hiding in plain sight. You've probably walked past it 100 times. Maybe you've held it. Maybe it's sitting in a dusty drawer somewhere in your house. But what if I told you that one ordinary-looking penny, a 1965 Lincoln Memorial cent, no mint mark, could be worth up to $684,000? Now imagine the regret of throwing that coin into a change jar. Or worse, using it to buy gum. And here's the kicker. There are still thousands of these pennies circulating today, hiding in plain sight. Think it's too late to cash in? Think again. Today, we're diving deep into the mysterious world of the 1965 no mint mark Lincoln penny, the shocking truth behind its value, what to look for, and how you could turn that copper disc into a lifestyle of luxury. Because the only thing worse than not knowing is finding out too late. Stick with me for the next 40 minutes and you'll never look at pocket change the same again. Let's rewind to the year 1965. The Beatles were storming America. The Vietnam War dominated the headlines. And the US Mint was going through a crisis. Silver prices were soaring. Coin hoarding was rampant. In a move that shocked collectors and casual citizens alike, the Mint made a decision that would create one of the most valuable pennies in history. Philadelphia, Denver, San Francisco, gone. No mint mark to tell them apart. Just a sea of identical-looking coins. This was meant to discourage hoarding, but it accidentally did the opposite, because in the chaos, some error coins and rare variations were minted and one of them became worth nearly $750,000. Quick question. When was the last time you actually looked at a penny before tossing it into a jar? Yeah, me neither. But maybe we should all start paying a little more attention. Now, let's talk about what separates an ordinary 1965 penny from one that could buy you a house in Malibu. 1965 was the transition year. Pre-1982 pennies were 95% copper. That makes them heavier, about 3.11 grams. Fake ones are usually lighter or look worn wrong. Use a digital scale, it could mean the difference between 1 cent and 6 figures. Some 1965 pennies feature doubling on Lincoln's profile, the word liberty, or the date. These double die errors are incredibly rare, and the right one? Sold at auction $4,684,000. Collectors go nuts for these, and competition is fierce. A coin in mint state, MS-65 or higher, is a unicorn. Sharp edges, strong luster, and no visible damage. These coins are museum-worthy and they fetch mind-blowing prices, but here's the twist: the rarest 1965 penny ever sold wasn't just an error coin. It was something even more unbelievable. We'll get to that in a moment. Smooth transition. But first, let's talk about why now is the best, and possibly the last, time to act. Most people miss the boat on opportunities like this. You remember Bitcoin in 2010? Or Tesla stock before 2020? This is like that, but in your sock drawer. Coin collectors, private investors, and even museums are now pouring into the market, aggressively hunting rare pennies before the prices skyrocket again. In the last 12 months, high-grade 1965 no-mint mark Lincoln pennies have seen a value increase of over 240%. That's not just inflation. That's a signal the window to cash in is closing fast. Every day you wait, you risk losing out. Someone else could find the coin you were meant to discover, and that person might not even be a collector. They could be a 10-year-old buying gum. Pattern interrupt. Speaking of gum, isn't it wild that a penny can't even buy a piece anymore, but it could buy you a Lamborghini? The rarest 1965 penny ever found wasn't just any double DIE. It was struck on a 1964 silver dime planchet, an accident so bizarre, so unlikely that it made headlines. That error made the coin one of a kind, and when it hit auction, it shattered records. The current market value? $684,000. But here's the real secret: there could be more of them out there, coins just like it, sitting, waiting, and one of them might be in your home right now. Let me ask you something. What would it mean for your life to find a coin worth $684,000? Would you finally live that life you keep promising yourself? This isn't just about coins. It's about unlocking the freedom that's already sitting in your hands. So check your change. Check your drawers. Check that forgotten jar on top of the fridge, because the next millionaire might not be born in Silicon Valley. They might just be someone, just like you, holding a 1965 penny. And next time someone says it's just a penny, smile. Because you know better. Did you know a single penny could make you a millionaire? Yes. A 1-cent coin. From 1995. With a small d under the date. It's not just spare change. It's potentially $784,000 sitting in a drawer, a coin jar, or buried in a coffee can in your garage right now. Sounds unbelievable. Stick around, because by the end of this video you'll know exactly how to tell if you have one of the rarest pennies ever made in the United States. Now here's a quick question before we dive deeper. When's the last time you checked your loose change? Not for $1, but for hundreds of thousands of them? Welcome to the world of rare coins, forgotten fortunes, and the once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to turn copper into cash and a simple penny into legacy wealth. Today we're talking about the 1995 D. Lincoln Memorial Penny, a coin that's silently been rewriting the story of what a penny is worth. Let's pull back the curtain and uncover a story about errors, rarity, and the secret reasons why this unassuming coin is now worth a small fortune. But before we move forward, here's a little riddle to reset your brain. If a penny saved is a penny earned, what happens when that penny earns you a mansion? Flashback to 1995. Denver Mint. Millions of pennies rolling off the line. Most of them worth face value. But a few, just a few, had something different. Some were struck with microscopic errors. Some had doubled die features. Others had unusual luster, die clashes, off-centers, or pristine mint state qualities preserved by accident or chance. These slight imperfections, often invisible to the untrained eye, created coins so rare that collectors would pay the price of a Lamborghini to own one. Spoiler alert, it's not just age. It's not just rarity. It's demand, and demand is booming. Coin experts, auction houses, and even TikTok treasure hunters have turned this coin into one of the most sought-after Lincoln cents in modern history. Now let's dig into the specific traits that could turn your 1995 D penny into a six-figure ticket to freedom. Alright, let's talk about the specifics. You want to know what to look for? This is the money section. Grab a magnifying glass. Or better yet, grab your shoebox of old coins. First, make sure the date reads 1995 and just beneath it, there's a tiny D mint mark. That D stands for Denver, double die obverse, DDO. This is the golden ticket. Check the word liberty and the motto, "In God we trust." If you notice thick, shadow-like doubling on the letters, it could be worth a fortune. Full strike features a clear, crisp Lincoln with sharp lines and fully defined steps on the Lincoln Memorial. This means the die was fresh and perfect. Collectors drool over these. High-grade condition coins graded MS68 or higher by PCGS or NGC have fetched prices as high as $784,000. Imagine that for a moment. A coin that cost 1 cent to make, now auctioned at nearly $750,000. Thinking this video is too long or realizing you threw away $784,000 because you were too bored to finish it. Now here's where it gets even more exciting and a bit scary. Many of these rare 1995 D pennies were spent unknowingly. Gone. Vanished into circulation. People used them to buy coffee or leave tips, and here's the kicker, some of the most valuable ones are still out there. In circulation. Waiting to be found, you could literally find one in your pocket tomorrow morning. Or you already did. Years ago. But you didn't know what you had. The question is, did you already spend your future? Now that you know what to look for, here's what to do next. Get all your 1995 pennies and isolate the ones with AD mint mark. Inspect with a jeweler's loupe or magnifying glass. Look for doubling, luster, and overall sharpness. If it looks promising, submit it for grading to PCGS or NGC. This costs a little, but if your penny is legit, it'll be the best investment of your life. Keep it safe. Use a non-acidic coin holder. No handling. No cleaning. Just preserve it. Step 5. Once graded, list it with a reputable auction house or trusted dealer. These coins go fast and hot, demand is increasing. Values are rising. But only a limited number of high-grade 1995 D pennies exist. Once they're accounted for, prices will explode. Or worse, they'll disappear into private collections, never to be seen again. Don't say you'll do it next week. That's how fortunes are lost, because the person who gets wealthy off the coin might be watching this video too. You're not just selling a penny. You're unlocking a lifestyle. We're talking about paying off debt, funding retirement, leaving a legacy for your children. All from a coin that costs less than a gumball. So go check your coins. Right now. The 1995 D Lincoln penny might be your path to financial independence, and when you do find it and you cash it in, remember this video, remember this moment, because today you didn't just learn about coins, you learned that sometimes the smallest things hold the greatest value. What if I told you that a single coin, something you might have in an old jar, hidden in a drawer, or collecting dust in your childhood collection, could be worth over $800,000? Yes. A 1968 no-mint mark Lincoln Memorial penny has been appraised at $884,000. And some rare varieties of it are even climbing past the $1 million mark. Still listening? Good. Because what you're about to hear could flip your entire financial future. Now, before you roll your eyes and say, it's just a penny, remember, the wealthiest people in history saw value where others didn't. Here's the question. Could that little copper coin in your pocket be your ticket to freedom? Your key to a life without money stress, without bills piling up, without saying maybe next year to your dreams. Let's rewind the clock to 1968. A year of turbulence, war, and change, and a quiet little miracle minted without a mint mark. In 1968, the U.S. Mint produced Lincoln Memorial cents in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Coins minted in Philadelphia carried no mint mark. Sounds ordinary, right? Among these coins, a few incredibly rare varieties slipped through the cracks. These had double die errors, perfect strike quality, misalignments, and most importantly, a mysterious absence of the mint mark on coins with the wrong composition or die variety. These tiny defects transformed some of these pennies from pocket change into six-figure investments. Let me say that again. One coin, 1 cent worth over $800,000. Here's what collectors and investors are drooling over. MS67 or higher, with a flawless surface and deep luster double die obverse. Look closely at In God We Trust or Liberty. Double images equals jackpot. Mint errors are pure gold. If it's shiny like it just left the mint, it could be a financial game changer. When's the last time you even looked at a penny? If your answer is, I haven't in years, congratulations. You might have hundreds of thousands sitting in your sock drawer. Collectors today are hunting these coins down harder than Black Friday shoppers at 6 a.m. One verified 1968 no-mint mark Lincoln penny recently sold for $884,000 at auction. Others have been appraised with potential even higher, especially with growing demand in 2025's rare coin market. Here's the kicker. As more of these coins disappear into collections, the value of yours could skyrocket. But here's the thing, most people will walk right past these pennies, not knowing what they're worth. And they'll stay stuck in the same financial rut, paycheck to paycheck, missing out on what could have been the biggest opportunity of their lives. If you've ever said, I just want one lucky break, this might be it. Imagine selling a single coin for nearly $1 million. What would you do? Fund your grandchildren's education, start that business you've been dreaming about since 1997. Now, here's where the urgency comes in. These rare coins are being scooped up fast. Prices are climbing. And counterfeits? Everywhere. That's why you need to know exactly what to look for. Grab every penny you can find from 1968. Examine them with a 10x magnifying glass or take clear photos and compare them to certified examples online. Double dies, no mint marks. Uncirculated conditions, off-center strikes. Get them graded by a trusted service like PCGS or NGC. List or auction with reputable rare coin brokers or auction houses. And here's the twist most people don't know. There's one specific 1968 penny with a unique error pattern that hasn't been seen in decades, but experts believe it's still out there. Unfound. Waiting. Possibly in your collection. Stick with me. In the next video, we're revealing the full story of that exact coin, including a real tip-off from a collector who almost sold it for just 25 cents. This isn't just about coins. This is about transformation. It's about rewriting your story from financial stress to financial freedom, because sometimes all it takes is one penny. One decision. One moment. You're not too late. But time is running out.